You're viewing Tobago Updates Television, your exclusive gateway to Tobago, broadcasting the beauty of this island paradise to the world.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning and welcome to the morning show on Tobago Updates Television. It is Thursday, 6th June 2024. We're coming to you live from the Port Mall here in Scarborough, Tobago. A wonderful day to be in the land of the living. We give God thanks and praise for life. I am Adana Kumbi and I will be taking you through our program this morning. Of course, we have a wonderful show for you. And as always, we want to say thank you so much for choosing us to be with you this morning as you prepare for school, for work, or whatever you're doing this early morning. Thank you for allowing us to be a part of your morning. Thank you for choosing us and thank you for making us the #1 morning show in Trinidad and Tobago. So wherever you're viewing us from this morning, we say thank you, and top of the morning to you. Before we get into our show this morning, we're going to head on over to the news in 90 seconds.
News in 90 seconds is brought to you by Standards, never beaten on quality and prices.
Thank you, Adana. Here is your news in 90 seconds for Thursday, June 6, 2024. Chief Secretary Farley Augustine stated that the $50 million supplementary allocation expected by the THA in the upcoming media review will not cover the expenses incurred from the February 7th oil spill. Despite the approval of the sum by the Standing Finance Committee of the House of Representatives, the THA's request for $153 million to assist in the spill-related efforts remain unmet. Augustine emphasized that the $50 million will not suffice to settle outstanding contractor payments or compensate affected fisher folk. Augustine expressed uncertainty regarding the sufficiency of the allocated funds for future efforts, emphasizing the need for additional resources beyond the initial cleanup phase. Up next, 44 women entrepreneurs from the east of Tobago will be featured in the Women in Business pop-up shop on June 8 at the Sporting Complex car park in Roxborough. The event, created by the Delaford-born Olivia Andrea Chadban, a part-time UWI psychology student and owner of Vintage Showroom and Vintage Jewelers, aim to promote women from the eastern side of the island. Chadban focuses on fostering a supportive environment for women to explore their creativity and entrepreneurial potential. Building on the success of last year's event, Chadban is enthusiastic about promoting local economic growth and showcasing the talents from the eastern side of Tobago. And finally, leader of the National Transformation Alliance and former Police Commissioner Gary Griffith has offered his assistance to Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley to address the escalating crime situation in the country. Griffith highlighted his achievements in reducing serious and violent crimes during his tenure as National Security Minister and Police Commissioner. He criticized the current National Security Minister Fitzgerald Hines for lacking the necessary expertise to solve the crime problem and argued that operational strategies rather than legislative amendments are crucial for crime reduction. Griffith urged Rowley to prioritize national safety over political differences, offering to implement proven strategies to restore order. Rowley has yet to respond to Griffith's proposal. And that was your news in 90 seconds.
Need a fresh start? Upgrade your life with the things you want. At Standard Distributors in Canaan, life is good with zero. Get that amazing fridge, the stylish sofa with zero down and easy financing. Your dream house is within reach. Visit Standard Distributors today. Life is good with zero.
Thank you, Bianna, there for our news in 90 seconds. Of course, interesting things coming out from the news there.
Yes.
Two things primarily stuck out to me. The compensation for fisher folk as a result of the oil spill.
Yeah.
And, you know, we had questions from the very beginning, from the very onset. Who is going to stand responsibility? Because at the end of the day, it's neither the government nor is it the THA who is responsible for the oil spill. But here we are in a position now where, of course, a demand is being, well, not necessarily demand, but now we're in a position where we are having to compensate them,
Yes.
obviously for loss of income, which is understandable. But at the end of the day, who is footing the final bill? Are we going to recoup the expenses incurred as a result of this? And where are we where that is concerned? So I do hope that at some point in time we get some resolve from that, some answers where that is concerned, because it's a lot. We're talking about, the Chief Secretary is proposing $153 million. And so far we have 50 million. And so we're talking, how are we going to recoup the expenses? Because that money could be, relocated to something else that we need to do on the island here in Tobago. So let's see how that goes. Let's see how that goes. And of course, we hear, Mr. Gary Griffith extending his arm to support the curbing
with the crime
of crime here in Trinidad and Tobago. And of course, he always speaks emphatically about his position where crime is concerned, a man with many ideas. And so we're looking out to see what the response is going to be, if there's going to be a collaboration. And, if, of course, there's going to be any reduction, if you're going to see, a physical dent in the criminal activities here on the island of Trinidad and Tobago.
One thing he pointed out was in terms of the amendment of the laws, he said that that is not necessary at this point in time.
And this is one of the things I think I asked to him while we're sitting for policymakers to make the policies. How do we approach the situation that we have at hand? Because we know policies take a long time to get passed and to get implemented while crimes are still ongoing. So let's hope that we get some quick and speedy resolve where that is concerned.
Yes.
All right, Bianna, thank you so much, and do have a wonderful day. Ladies and gentlemen, we thank you so much for staying with us. And of course, at this point in time, we're going to celebrate some people. It's birthday shout-out time. We head on straight over to our birthday shout-outs. And on screen and celebrating a birthday today is Darren Henry, also known as Pogo D. He's celebrating a birthday today, and so we want to say happy birthday to you, Darren. We do pray God's blessings upon your life. We pray that you enjoy your birthday. We pray that you walk in health and strength, and you continue to give God thanks for life. Next up is Ansel Bruce. I might be telling my age here, but this is one of my schoolmates. The same year group as me. Ansel Bruce is celebrating a birthday today, and we want to say happy birthday to Ansel. Ansel, we do hope that you enjoy your birthday. We pray God's blessings upon your life and that you walk with the fullness of life in you. And finally, for our birthday rundown this morning, we have Phoebe Gardner. And the birthday shout-out is coming from Rhea George. Rhea George is sending birthday shout-outs to Phoebe Gardner, Rhea George and her family. And they say, happy birthday to you, Phoebe. We do pray God's blessings upon your life. And we pray that you enjoy your birthday. Even as you head on into the weekend, we pray God's blessings upon your life. So happy birthday to you. And to all our celebrants, even those of you whose photos we do not have, we say happy, happy birthday. All right, you might be wondering, who are we having conversations with in studio this morning? But before we begin those conversations, I want to say good morning to a few of you who are on the live this morning, or regular viewers. Pearl Murray Beard, good morning to you. Good morning, Julia Brown. Brenda Campbell, good morning. Kelvin Morris, I see you there online as well. Good morning. Rodney Pickard, good morning, good morning, good morning. And thank you so much for choosing the morning show on Tobago Updates Television. We're about to begin our conversations, but of course, let's see who we're speaking with this morning. We start off our show with speaking by Dr. Kaisha James, an emergency medical practitioner, and we speak on the topic of the importance of cancer screening. And then we speak again to Richard Gubar Singh, the producer and director, Zoo Maritanka, an actress, and Nicholas Subero, an actor. We're talking about Love is a Walk. That is a film, of course. We're going to hear some more about that as we speak this morning. And we round our conversations up this morning by speaking to Tilo Cruz, a backpacker, as he completed his walk around Tobago. So we're going to get some information where that is concerned as well. That is what our conversations look like here on the morning show, and we invite you to stay with us as we have these discussions. And while you stay, we encourage you to help us share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be right back.
Deltec Distributors Weekend Special Wings Friday. 3 pounds wings, 2.5 kilogram fries. Special 100 TT. Soup Saturday. 2 pounds cube beef, 2 pounds cow heel, 2 pounds chicken foot, 2 pounds pigtail, or smoked bone. Special $150. Super Sunday. 3 pounds leg and thigh chicken, 3 pounds sliced pork, 3 pounds lamb slice, 3 pounds cheese, 2 pack of pasta. Special $250. Located Main Road, Argyle, Tobago. We deliver 20 TT. Contact us on deltecdistributors.com 395-5040 or 237-0102. Deltec Distributors Weekend Special.
We reached the biggest comedy event of 2024, finally in Tobago for one night only at Shaw Park.
My body, and I'm not in the mood.
Yeah, but you haven't been in the mood for the last 6 months. Love is a Walk, which played to sold-out houses across Trinidad, is coming to Tobago for one night only on Saturday, June 8th at 8:30 p.m.
You promised this would be the last time.
Yes, I tell you, it's the last time, I swear.
You sure about that?
Tickets for Love is a Walk available at the Shaw Park Complex daily and at advertised outlets. Check social media for details. Shaw Park, Saturday, June 8th.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Welcome back to the morning show on Tobago Updates Television. I am Adana Kumbi, and we begin conversations this morning in studio. We're speaking with Dr. Kaisha James, and she is a emergency medical practitioner. In fact, she completed her residency in family medicine in South Carolina and has been practicing for 11 years as an attending physician. And she also teaches medical students and physician assistant students and nursing practitioners. So she has a wealth of knowledge. And this morning we're speaking specifically on the topic of the importance of cancer screening. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning. How are you?
I am well, thanks. And so I'm so happy that you're here with us this morning to speak about this very important topic, because sometimes we take things for granted and we live because we're alive and we're not thinking that we have to take care of our physical bodies. And so we're talking about the importance. Why is it important to have screening for cancers, and what are some of the timelines or some of the things you can look for when it's time to have that screening done?
Okay. So cancer screening is one of the backbone, the pillars of preventative medicine. Preventative medicine focuses on promoting health and well-being to prevent disability, premature deaths, prevent cancers, etc. So this morning I'll talk about a couple cancers that plague females as well as some among the male population, and why is it important to screen? So the first cancer I'd like to talk about is cervical cancer. Cervical cancer has been on the rise recently, and that is because of the lack of screening. You start screening at the age of 21. Screening typically goes up to age 65. If you are between the ages of 21 to 25, we screen primarily using pap smear, which is cervical cytology. This is performed by an OBGYN or family medicine physician, and you do pap smears every 3 years. Now, there is an alternative. If you are age 25, you can start doing HPV testing, which is testing for human papilloma virus. This is the virus that actually causes cervical cancer, and that's what we test for. Now, there are several strains of cervical cancer, and there are several high-risk strains that we test for. There are strains 16, 18, 45, among others. There is about 13 major ones that are truly implicated in cervical cancer. So we test for that, and we test those every 5 years. So if you choose to do HPV testing is every 5 years, pap smear is every 3 years. Now, from the age of 30 to 65, there is a co-testing where you can actually do both. You can do HPV testing as well as pap smear, and that is every 5 years. Now, I practice in the United States, and I will tell you, most people do co-testing every single year, because even within that 5 year, there is transition to cervical dysplasia, even if you've had a negative screen 4 years prior. So a lot of practitioners have moved towards testing every 1 to 3 years in those categories. Now, for the elderly women, when do you stop, right? Mm-hmm. So we say stop at age 65. However, you must have had adequate screening prior to age 65. Mm. Now, what constitutes adequate screening? You must have had at least 2 co-testing, which is the HPV and cervical pap smear testing 10 years prior, and the last one must have been in the previous 5 years. Or 3 pap smears 10 years prior, within the last 3 years. At that point, then we can say, okay, your risk is significantly low, and now you can stop doing screening for cervical cancer.
I mean, we have to be so alert in terms of taking care of ourselves, and you're talking about the years and the time frames, and sometimes it might become a little bit laborious in terms of having to remember, oh my goodness, 3 years ago, 5 years ago, where am I with this? But it definitely is important, as you can detect if someone has the HPV,
Exactly.
and if is it something that can be, if it's detected early, what is the management like?
Well, if it's detected early, there are so many treatments that we can do. There is procedures such as liponization. You can do, of course, removal of the cervix. Some people do a full hysterectomy, cervix, uterus, ovaries. But there is a vaccine that is available, that has been around for quite some time, at least 10 years, which is vaccine against HPV. I am not sure if this is implemented here in Trinidad and Tobago, or how well known it is, or how widespread it is, or how available it is. But starting at the age of 9 years old, prior to the onset of sexual activity, there's testing, and not testing, there's vaccination for HPV, and that can go up until age 12. Now, if you have started a series and have missed it, there are 2 vaccines that you give between the ages of 9 to 12. If you have started the vaccine series and have not completed it, you can still complete that up until age 26, provided that you have not really been exposed to HPV. And even so, you can still finish the vaccine series. So this is one cancer that has the propensity to be eradicated if the population of children are vaccinated on time prior to the onset of sexual activity.
Wow. This is amazing news here. I think it's my first time learning of this aspect of it. I know we want to talk about other types of cancers as well, other types of screening rather as well. For women, I know it's not just cervical cancer. There are other types of screening that can be done, that can help to detect if there is anything happening there and to treat.
Yes, so breast cancer is another big cancer. You'll find that, I know when I was growing up, it was mainly older people you will hear having breast cancer primarily. But now you'll find younger people in their 20s, people in their 30s and 40s. So it is imperative to screen for breast cancer. There are some very aggressive forms of breast cancer that progresses very rapidly, and some people with inadequate screening, they are diagnosed at advanced stages with extremely high morbidity and mortality. Breast cancer screening should start at the age of 40 years old. Now, there are some genetic causes of breast cancer. I'm not sure if you've heard of BRCA1 or BRCA2, BRCA1, BRCA2. Those are the most common genetic mutation that you find in breast cancers. And people who possess those genes tend to have early onset of breast cancer. And of course, your family, your generation is at risk because, of course, it's inherited genetically. And those patients tend to be screened very early, particularly if you have a family member who has been previously diagnosed with breast cancer and have those genetic mutations. So for the general population, average risk, 40 years old, every 1 to 2 years. And you screen with a mammogram. Now, if you're young and you have very dense fibrocystic breast, we also do ultrasound to help with the diagnosis, to make sure that we are actually evaluating the entire breast, because of course dense tissue can hide little lumps and little masses. So if you're young, we add ultrasound to help with, the screening. Now, if you have genetic mutations in your family, you start much earlier, 30, 35 years old. We typically say you start 10 years prior to the onset of that family member. So if that family member had breast cancer at 35, you start at age 25. Because we've seen a lot of young people coming down with breast cancer at advanced stages.
Wow. It really is important to be aware of your body and to know the changes if there's any, and of course to stick to your, your screenings and your dates and your testings and stuff like that. And now I want to move on to men because, sometimes men, there's a stigma. Men are afraid. I don't know if they're afraid or what it is that kind of restricts them or hinders them from going for screening and testing. And so it is also important for them. And I want to talk about the types of cancers that affect men and the importance of them also screening for detection.
Exactly. It's funny that you say that because in every society, men tend not to want to go to the doctor. They're very strong. They're very macho. They are not very in tune with their body. Women, we tend to go to the doctor if our toe hurts, we tend to go and get checked out. So men, there are a couple cancers I'd like to talk about today: colon cancer and prostate cancer. Now, colon cancer and prostate cancer, they are the two main cancers we tend to see in men. Now, colorectal cancer, initially screening was started at age of 50. In the most recent time, last couple of years actually, that has been decreased to age 45, very young, because we are finding that men are being diagnosed with advanced stages of cancer. Stage 4 cancer. And of course, stage 4 cancer, that means you have had metastasis or spread of the cancer to multiple different organ systems in the body, which is much more difficult to treat, requires more aggressive treatment, chemotherapy, radiation, colon resection, etc. So screening is via colonoscopy, primarily, starting at age 45. Now, again, there are genetic causes of colorectal cancers, and we screen for those as well. Now, family history with regards to colorectal cancer is very, very important because there are some genetic cancers that the onset is very early, very young, 30s, even 20s. I've seen patients with colon cancer at the age of 25, advanced stages. Now, there's something called Lynch syndrome. It's rare, but you tend to see it a lot more. This is hereditary non-polyposis colorectal cancer. There are other genetic cancers such as familial polyposis colorectal cancer, and also there is ulcerative colitis, which is part of the inflammatory bowel disease category, but in your lifetime, there is 100% risk of developing colon cancer. 100%.
Why is this, or how is this?
Because that is the nature of ulcerative colitis. It causes inflammation, changes of the cells, and of course, cancer is mutation of cells. So if you have a disease process that by nature causes changes of the organ cells, puts you at risk for colon cancer. So you'll find that a lot of people with ulcerative colitis will go ahead and do a total colectomy, remove the entire colon as a means to decrease their risk of developing colon cancer.
Wow, this is very interesting and informative because you're saying 100% possibility, 100% at risk, you know.
If you have ulcerative colitis, yes.
Right. Wow. Okay. So you see, we have to get the screenings, we have to get the testings done, and we have to be aware of what is happening. Sometimes you might just feel a little bit down, as you mentioned. For a woman, if she has her toe feels off, she will go to the doctor. She has a cough, she will go. But a man, because of his macho-ness and the nature of a man, you know, we understand. They tend to say, "No, I'm strong, and and I don't need to get it testing done." But it is very important. And we want to talk about prostate cancer before we wrap up this morning. The importance of men testing for that as well.
So prostate cancer is another big one. It's the second most commonly diagnosed cancer in men, and it plays a major role in mortality with regards to cancer in the male population. Now, prostate cancer, you start at age 50. We use a PSA, which is a prostatic specific antigen. A normal PSA is less than 4. Abnormal is greater than 4. Now, what happens if you have an abnormal PSA? The next step is biopsy, of course. Now, does having an abnormal PSA constitute to having 100% chance of cancer? No. There are some conditions that can cause you to have elevated PSA, such as prostatitis or BPH, which is basically an enlarged prostate. However, to fully diagnose and to eliminate prostate cancer as a cause of the elevated PSA, you have to do a biopsy.
Wow. So you see, it is so very important because at the end of the day, you want to ensure that you detect early.
Of course.
And of course, early detection, of course, helps in the preventative measures and, the care in the event. Maybe
decreases morbidity, decreases mortality, increases your risk of survival. And prostate cancer is a cancer that actually can be cured. So if it's found early, treated appropriately, you can be cured of prostate cancer. Remember I mentioned that there is a condition called Lynch syndrome, which is genetic colorectal cancer. Having that as a man puts you at increased risk for prostate cancer as well.
Wow.
So that's like a double whammy. So screening is very, very imperative.
Right. And, in closing, I want you to advise our public, to talk to them and let them know why it is so we spoke about so many different things. We spoke about 4 types of cancers affecting both men and women, not just in the United States, but all across the globe. We see people being affected by this, and sometimes it's because we are neglectful, we don't pay attention to our bodies, or even if we think we're in perfect health, and so we just go about our daily lives. Sometimes we might even be experiencing some measure of comfort, but we're thinking, I'm Herculean, so I can do this, and so we don't tend to take care of ourselves. So just from your perspective as a physician, and obviously your 11 years of or even over of working in this industry as a practitioner, I know you would have seen so many things over your tenure, and so I want you to really be emphatic in encouraging our viewers and listeners this morning the importance to really take good care of your physical body.
Well, I will tell you, screening is paramount. Screening helps with early detection. It helps with treatment. It helps with cure. Pay attention to your body. A lot of times we may have signs of drastic, unexpected weight loss. That is a major indication that there's something wrong with your body. Also, frequent illnesses, history of just recurrent colds, that means your immunity is low. Pay attention to that. There are many cancers that can be treated appropriately if we just listen to our bodies, have appropriate screening. It's important to develop a relationship with your physician, because sometimes they may, in talking to you, identify some things that you may not even be aware of or even pay attention to. They may notice that in your vital signs, your weight is 20 pounds lower than it had been a month ago or 3 months prior. So screening is imperative. Listen to your body. Seek medical attention. When in doubt, go to your doctor. It is paramount.
Thank you so much. And I liked how you ended off there. When in doubt, go to your doctor, because they are the ones who can really give you that measure of advice and, in terms of caring for you and moving forward. Ladies and gentlemen, we've been speaking with Dr. Kaisha James, an emergency medical practitioner in the United States of America, born and bred in Trinidad and Tobago, primarily from Tobago, the island of Tobago, one of our very own there, making her mark out there in the US of A and representing Tobago very well educated and very much aware of what is happening in the medical industry. So thank you so much for staying with us and for listening and participating in this conversation. Thank you, Dr. James, for being with us this morning. Ladies and gentlemen, we have to go for a short break before we continue conversations this morning. And as we go for this break, of course, we ask you to help us to share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be right back.
Fresh start? Upgrade your life with the things you want. At Standard Distributors in Canaan, life is good with zero. Get that amazing fridge, the stylish sofa with zero down and easy financing. Your dream house is within reach. Visit Standard Distributors today. Life is good with zero.
Hey, assemblers! I am Kimura Reed, your presiding officer for the first ever primary plenary debate to be done nationally under the People's House. Join us at 10 a.m. on Thursday, June the 6th, 2024 at the Assembly Chamber as 18 primary schools from the east, west, and north of the island will engage in a thought-provoking debate on the impacts and effects of the SEA examination as members of the THA.
My name is Lester Paul, and the reason why they should keep the SEA exam is because it's a standardized test, and the three most important things you need to know is maths, language arts, and creative writing.
My name is Dando George, and I believe that they should ban SEA because of the physical and mental stress that it gives to the students.
Come to the public gallery or tune in live to our Facebook and YouTube links. We've got it locked, loaded, and ready to go. Thursday, June the 6th at 10 a.m. This is certainly one for the books.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Welcome back to the morning show on Tobago Updates Television. I am Adana Kumbi, and we continue conversations this morning, and we head on over to conversations about a play Love is a Walk. And we're speaking with Richard Raghubar Singh. He's a producer and director, as well as Zomari Tanka, an actress, and Nicholas Sabero, an actor in the same play. And before we even start this conversation, I'm looking at the flyer and the love. I like the play on the word love there and how it is done in two parts. So I'm hoping some one of them can tell me exactly what that exactly means. Not that flyer. Let's show the flyer with, there are 7 actors on that flyer. Yes, that's the one where we have love in 2 parts and it's held together by 2 pins. So let's get the conversation started this morning. Good morning and welcome to our program this morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Adana. Yeah. And thanks so much for having us. Yeah. I suppose the safety pin holding the love, the LO and the VE together is indicative of the walk that love is. And sometimes it can be a patchwork of all manner of challenges to make it work. And sometimes it's working by the bare thread, but it's still working. And so I suppose it's symbolic of what's in the play in a sense, because in the play, you have 3 completely different couples that end up in Tobago for a weekend, a long weekend from Trinidad. I think one is based in Tobago. And so these 3 couples end up in a Tobago house, vacation house, and it's what transpires over the period of a week in that Tobago house. But it doesn't even make the week. And so you see the variety of couples. And I suppose, Adana, when you come to the play, you will understand why that safety pin is there.
I am certain, because I know just the theme alone, as you mentioned, that love is a walk, it really does take work, because sometimes when we celebrate people who have anniversaries, like for instance, I think last week we celebrated someone with 29 years of wedding anniversary, and I mentioned how much work must have gone into it because of the challenges in our daily lives and different personalities and, different dreams and goals. I'm certain that, of course, it would be a lot of work, and I'm longing to see how it will play out, how it will roll out in this play. So tell us a little bit about you told us briefly that they're coming from Trinidad to Tobago. There's a couple already in Tobago and there's 2 couples coming and they're staying in a house for a week. Tell us a little bit of what we can expect from these couples, their interaction while they're staying in this house together.
Well, I suppose Zomari is my wife in the play. Nicholas is one of the partners of the love interest of another lady. I'm trying so hard not to give away too much. But I suppose Zo and Nicholas, you all can weigh in on what the plot is about without giving away too much.
Nicholas, take it away.
All right. Without saying too much, I'll speak a little bit about my character and some of his motivations. He's a young and supposedly attractive guy in the in the play, and he's someone who uses what he has available to him in his body and looks to be quite opportunistic and move forward in life. And there are some female characters who are all but too willing to accept what he's offering for the things that he'd like to have.
This sounds so very much like our culture, What I like about it is the fact that we can bring everyday life, things that actually happen that people don't really talk about, they kind of want to hide because maybe it's not the popular thing. And so we're seeing it on a stage now. And based on what you said, Nicholas, clearly we can see that these are things that do happen. And culturally, we can bring it out on that stage so that we can actually enjoy. And what I think will happen is that people can identify with things that they might have seen or know about that is kind of hush-hush or the little gossip in the group chat thereabouts, So I really am already excited to see how this rolls out in this space when it takes place, when it's taking place this weekend, I think.
At Shore Park, yes. On Saturday the 8th of June at Shore Park, 8:30 p.m. So get your tickets and get there. And Adana, you really gave a good, made a good point there in terms of it being relatable to the audience, extremely relatable. So people have said this, in terms of social media feedback, they have said, hey, this has happened to me already. Many people have come several times to see it. So it really is something that is enjoyable, it's relatable, it's entertaining, and you get to see several couples interaction on stage, and just we really take the audience along for the ride.
And how has it been in terms of preparing, your rehearsals, getting ready to come across to Tobago? What has it been like in terms of getting the whole cast together, preparations? Are you excited? What has been happening on your end?
Oh, I think the cast is super excited. There's a lot of chat because, of course, we have a WhatsApp group for the play, and they love the idea of going to Tobago. Of course, we came to Tobago last year. I think it was. Was it last year, Zoe?
Yeah, it was last year around this time, actually, that we did This Little Piggy is Tired.
This Little Piggy is Tired.
Yes.
So that was our first foray in our first showing at Shore Park, because we had never been to Shore Park before. And and the crew and the people and the administration of Shore Park were magnificent in accommodating us. And of course, they are equally magnificent this time around. But the cast is super excited. I can't even explain to you how excited they are. There's already chatter in the group about, because a lot of the cast is coming in from tomorrow, and we'll be hanging around Tobago tomorrow night, in terms of, promoting the play and stuff. But, Adana, the thing about this play, and Zoe touched on it, that so many people have come, and so many people have come multiple times. People have seen this play 2 and 3 times. And besides being hysterically funny from start to finish, from the time the play starts, it's funny, to the conclusion, it's funny. At the end of the play, you're still laughing. So many people relate to it. It's, many times you have plays, and there is just something that touches a play that makes it magical in terms of the audience's experience. This is one of those plays. The response in Trinidad has been fantastic. We've had sold out houses at Queen's Hall, Cipriani College, Sapa in San Fernando, and we have gone back, and Central Bank Auditorium, and we have gone back to these theaters. Some of these theaters we've done twice. And usually in known plays, we don't necessarily do that. But the response and the word of mouth has been spectacular for this play. Love is a Walk. It has been unbelievable. And it's one of those plays that the cast actually loves what you're doing. We love going on stage. You're excited to go on stage for this play because the characters are so colorful. The synergy between the different couples, what's happening, the bacchanal, who knows what is going on, and what is happening behind somebody's back. Life, no, Dana. Life.
That's right.
Yes, exactly.
That's right. And I'm feeling, and you're saying that the cast, they are excited to come. And if I didn't know and I didn't believe, just by the way you are expressing it, I can tell if you're a representation of the cast that they are very excited to come across. And of course, you mentioned the word bacchanal there, and that is part of how we express ourselves in our culture here in Trinidad and Tobago. So I know that I can expect something. And I know you have been around, you've been on the scene for a very long time. So I expect that it will be, well delivered. What has the feedback been like from the Tobago audience so far?
Oh yeah, a lot of interest, and Tobagonians, from the time the play started and word of mouth started to spread about this play, we have quite, and from our Facebook page, our social media presence, RSRR Productions Theatre, you had a lot of people starting to say, I hope all you come in Tobago. I hope all you come in Tobago. Don't leave Tobago out. All of these kinds of comments. So we had interest even before we decided we were coming to Tobago. For sure, we had interest from people on our social media presence. From our social media presence, people from Tobago were saying, we hope all you come in. Don't do us this. Do not come, because we need to see this play. So, and of course, that's translating in terms of the outlets that are selling tickets. Of course, tickets are available at Shore Park Complex itself, also at Beverly's Oasis in Lowlands, Asher's Cocktail Lounge in Crown Point, and Marcelin's Car Rentals in Crown Point. So we have those out, and Pablo's Supermarket in Roxborough. Roxborough, we're not leaving you all out. Pablo's was one of our biggest areas for sales last time we were there for This Little Piggy is Tired. So we have tickets at all of those outlets, and the response so far has been phenomenal. I mean, I just tell you, you know when you have this excitement and vibe that, oh my God, this is going to be a fantastic weekend. That's what you're feeling. That's what you're feeling.
Absolutely, absolutely. So for our listening and viewing audience, just in case you don't have your ticket yet, you have your ticket outlets there. It's $200 I saw on the flyer for general admission. I think, is it $250 at the door?
$250 reserved.
So
200 general and $250 reserved. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so you can also find more information on the RSRR Theatre social media pages. You can see the full flyer information, also options to pay online as well for your convenience.
Absolutely.
Actually, we have quite a few sales taking place online. Quite a few people are buying the tickets online.
That's amazing. Make it more accessible. In closing, is there anything that you want to share or shout to our audience this morning to remind them and encourage them to come out to participate and enjoy your delivery on this play on Saturday?
What? I mean, I suppose each person can say what they want. You know what I would say, Adana? Many times there's some people who have never seen a live play in their life. This is the perfect start to your theater experiences. Trust me. After you come to this play, you will not miss another play wherever it is held, because it is that magnetic. So don't miss out. Don't not come and then hear, oh my God, the play was fantastic by people who went, and you hear the word of mouth and say, oh Lord, I should have come. Don't make that happen to you. Trust me, that is going to happen. Trust me, that is going to happen. I tell you, the word of mouth. You can check RSRR Productions Theatre page and you will see the fantastic word of mouth this play has. I'm not even remotely exaggerating.
I can imagine. I can just imagine. Anybody else wants to share?
I just want to say that we're... Oh, go ahead, Nick. Go ahead.
As a reflection of some real life scenarios, this production affords you the opportunity to, when you're in the middle of a piece of bacchanal, sometimes you don't get to see that there's some beauty involved, that there's some humor involved, that during certain hardships and relationships, there's a reminder that there is love inside of there. And being in the audience affords you the opportunity to look in on some situations you might have been a part of and realize that love plays a big role, and that some of those things are funny, and that there are some beautiful moments inside of the bacchanal that's making you sweat.
Awesome. Absolutely awesome.
Absolutely. I just want to, really add to that and just to hone in on the fact, or to just reiterate the fact that it really is entertaining. I think based on what Richard and Nicholas said, you're really getting to see several scenarios, people who are complex characters, people who just want to be happy, people who want to really be in love. So you really do get to sort of experience that and go along with that journey. And Tobago, we are so ready. We are excited. We are, we have been doing the work, and we're ready to come and give you a fantastic performance. So, as Richard said, don't miss out on this awesome experience to come to Show Park and laugh from beginning to end, and after that, when you're talking to your friends and family about it.
And I like the part you said, and after that, because of course they'll talk about it. There'll be a synopsis. People will be saying, did you go? Did you see this? What was the most entertaining part for you? And so, of course, we want to wish you the very best. And of course, taking place this Saturday, 8 June at Shaw Park Complex from 8:30 p.m. So if you don't have your tickets, now is the perfect opportunity to get your tickets. You can purchase them online if you visit the RSRR Production social media pages, as well as the box office in Shaw Park and the other list of merchants who have the tickets available there as well this Saturday. Make this, as Richard said, make this your first theatre experience. Come on out and, celebrate your weekend with laughter as we talk about Love is a Walk. Thank you there. We've been speaking to some of the cast members of Love is a Walk taking place this Saturday. So come on out. Thank you guys so much for coming this morning, and of course for bringing the information and stirring up the audience to come out and participate. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have to go for a short break before we continue conversations this morning. And before we go for a break, we invite you to help us share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be right back.
can't live without you, I can't be without you for too long. Cause when I'm around you, I feel like the heavens has come down. I feel it in my soul every time we on the road, it's a miracle. A million strong come together.
Tobago, the date has been set. Saturday, June 22nd, we head to the Jade Monkey once again for the launch of their 2024 Jufi and Mass Band presentation for Tobago Carnival. On Saturday, June 22nd, we gather at the Jade Monkey to get a glimpse of the Jade Monkey Mass presentation for 2024, the Tobago Festival, and also the launch of the Jade Monkey Jufi, Monkey See, Monkey Do.
I come from the Twin Island.
Get ready for another year of Tobago Carnival with the best band in Tobago, Jade Monkey Mass and the Jade Monkey Jufi. So come out on June 22nd as we launch Monkey See, Monkey Do Jufi, and for Tobago Mass, the Tobago Festival's presentation, brought to you by the Jade Monkey. This one powered by Carib, Digicel, and Next 99.1 FM, a member of the TTT Limited Media Network. Jade Monkey.
Deltec Distributors Weekend Special Wings Friday. 3 pounds wings, 2.5 kilogram fries. Special 100 TT Soup Saturday. 2 pounds cube beef, 2 pounds cow heel, 2 pounds chicken foot, 2 pounds pigtail, or smoke bone. Special $150. Super Sunday. 3 pounds leg and thigh chicken, 3 pounds sliced pork, 3 pounds lamb slice, 3 pounds cheese, 2 pack of pasta. Special $250. Located Main Road, Argyle, Tobago. We deliver 20 TT. Contact us on deltecdistributors.com 395-5040 or 237-0102. Deltec Distributors Weekend Special. The best place to stay in Tobago is at Thorn's Place, with rates starting as low as 200 TT. Call or WhatsApp 745-7306 or 682-8676. We are located uptown Scarborough, 5 minutes away from the port. Remember, at Thorn's Place, our aim is to make your stay safe and affordable.
Rotisserie, mouth-watering fries, salads, combos, and specials galore. Feeling for something to eat? Come and see. Our rotisserie is seasoned to the T. Kicking chicken, masala, and jerk roast. Crispy fries made from scratch. Who do you know can beat that? Or salads freshly cut and packed. When you taste it, you'll be wanting to come back. So come check us out on number 2 Robinson Street, Uptown Scarborough, Tobago. We open on Saturday nights from 7:30 to 11:30 p.m. Monday to Thursday, we're open from 10 a.m. to 9:30 p.m. and on Friday, 10 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Contact us at 772-7443 and all social media handles at The Rotisserie Factory.
MI4 Security Services Company is the most advanced security service in Tobago. Ask about our cash and transit service. It's safe, risk-free, reliable, and timely. We provide safe banking delivery for all business types and sizes with highly trained staff, 24/7 monitoring, coordinated emergency response, and a well-maintained fleet of armored vehicles. Contact us at 660-7723 or visit our website at www.mi4securitytt.com to sign up today.
It's a different type of thing down there. And we party till we drop down there. With a lot of pretty girls down there. Down in Tobago.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Welcome back to the morning show on Tobago Updates Television. We're just about 7:52 a.m. So if you're getting to work for 8 and you're not yet there, you might be late. But still, if you're on the nation's roads, remember to drive safely, get yourself to work on time, safely, and the children off to school. Okay, we continue conversations this morning in studio, and this morning we're speaking with Tilo Cruz, backpacker who did his trek all across the island of Tobago. And also in studio with him this morning is Bashe Kwao, and we're gonna have that conversation this morning. If you've been following social media at all, you'd know where the journey started, and so we're gonna talk about where we are now and what the experience was like for you here in Tobago. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning. Thank you very much.
Of course, it's a pleasure. And so, of course, anytime anything of this nature happens on the island of Tobago, we are all very excited as Tobagonians to be a part of the conversation and to have the experience with you as well. And so you've walked across the island of Tobago, around the island of Tobago, right?
Around.
Right, and tell us, how engaging was it? What was the experience like for you? And just in case viewers, I just want to let the cat out of the bag if I can. He's here without shoes this morning, and I feel as if that is to get connected to the earth. I don't know what the purpose is, but
no, I just thought it was funny. I also walked the whole of Tobago barefoot.
Barefoot, that's right.
So 144 kilometers barefoot. Yeah.
Wow. And so, what was that like for you? Because for me, I know I would expect, because I cannot walk without shoes, and so you did that entire trek barefooted.
You can. I also thought I couldn't do it, but you just try it, and it's painful, but once you try it, you're like, okay, now I get through.
I suppose once you put your mind to it, you're able to do it. And so what was the experience like from where you started? What type of engagements you had with people along the journey? I know sometimes people will give you drinks, they would give you, so what was the communication like, and how did you feel in terms of, was there a warmth, a welcome? How did you feel?
Oh yeah, no, I felt very welcome, very warm. It's a little bit quieter than Trinidad, I would say, less people. I had a little bit more of my own, but people were still nice. We still got a lot of food and got a lot of drinks and mostly nice places to sleep, and I can't complain on that.
And in terms of the walking, what was the most amount of hours consecutively did you walk? What was the longest period? Did you record it?
I don't know hours. I think like 23 or so might be the longest.
From Charlottesville to Bloody Bay.
I don't know, maybe.
Yeah, that was our longest walk.
Wow.
Because we wanted to witness the harvest of Bloody Bay.
Yes.
And then we were struggling to reach Bloody Bay on time so that we can enjoy the harvest.
Right. Yeah. And what was that experience like?
Well, I think Charlottesville to Bloody Bay was the toughest journey because that stress, the road is somehow...
the terrain,
yes. Mm-hmm. That was a tougher, and the Tilo was struggling hard, but we made it.
I'm happy to hear that. And once you can overcome the hardest hurdle, then the rest of it just comes like, listen, if I did that, I could, make the other couple of, the steps down the road. And so what was the reason behind, I know you came to Trinidad before, but what was the reason behind choosing this specific space to do this? Trinidad and Tobago, what was the reason behind it?
Trinidad, coincidence. Do you have good dry docks? Okay. I sailed across the Atlantic with the captain, and the captain says, I need to fix my boat, and the Chaguaramas in Trinidad has good dry docks. Mm-hmm. So I went to Chaguaramas, and from there, just like ones after the other, I talked to people. I had the idea to walk across the country, and a lot of people told me it's not impossible. I was like, oh no, of course it's possible. So I don't know, just okay, let's do it. And maybe some people would be interested in that, give some make a cool story about the kindness and the welcoming of people here. So let's do social media, and kind of blew up, and then people tell me do Tobago next, and you don't wanna you wanna get Tobago too, you wanna be like fair here, guys. So
that's right.
And also raise a little bit of awareness for lupus. We try to collect a little bit of money and awareness for lupus. It's like a sickness, autoimmune sickness where the immune system attacks the body. And it's not really curable, but not a lot of people know about this. So we wanna help them out a little bit. So it comes in phases, and sometimes people are fine the first day, and the next day they can't work, and there's not a lot of understanding for employers. So that she looked fine the day before, but now she's in the hospital. We want to raise a little bit of funds for the Voice of Lupus Foundation. They want to build a small clinic. And yeah, for like some of the side effects, they need to get checked up regularly. In the normal hospital, that takes like a long time to get the appointment. So they want to build like a clinic run by volunteers. And yeah, let's see if we can contribute a little bit of funds to that. So
and that aspect of it, because that is very important, and that aspect of it, what has the feedback been like, the response been like in terms of raising the awareness, and also the sponsorship in terms of raising funds, the finances for that as well? What has it been like?
So I think we raised now, don't quote me on that, but I think like 13,000 TT. So that's good. And yeah, well, I think like a lot of people who have actually lupus, they like write in the comments like, oh my gosh, it's so good. Like my daughter has lupus. I don't know, my aunt died on lupus. It's so good. Thank you for doing this. And you know, they're like people coming out a little bit. I didn't have anybody who like joined me. I would have loved that, but maybe I'll still get someone to interview who has lupus. And yeah, give them a little bit of spotlight, and you know.
All right, and do you have any plans in terms of having conversations with stakeholders, maybe here on the island of Tobago, in terms of more awareness, more public awareness? Because I know people were on the journey with you, as you mentioned. They spoke on social media. They mentioned, you know, their own experience, whether it's with themselves or someone they know who having lupus. Do you have any plans or intentions to talk with anybody in terms of how can we get more awareness out there in this local space? Because as you said, it's not that very popular. I mean, some people know about it, but there are other diseases that people tend to know more, and so you want to give them more information where this is concerned. Do you have any plans, or have you thought about who can you speak with on a platform that gives you a louder voice to get people more involved in it?
I just use my own platform so far. And hey, guys, I'm in the television. What's up? Yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm not the manager of the foundation. You know, I just met the president of the foundation, and she was pretty cool. And you know, like, she told me about her story, and you know, I thought let's help her out a little bit. And yeah, if anybody's interested, she has a really interesting story. Anybody watching here, like TV stations, radio stations, interviewed this woman. She had lupus herself. She worked in, I think, like in the radio, had a really good job, and then she got fired from her job. And you know, like 3 days later, she's like, okay, I'm gonna build this foundation because there isn't really a lot for lupus patients out there. Her name is Rihanna. The contacts are like, I don't know, just contact me or contact her. Just Google Voice of Lupus Foundation, interview her. She has a cool story. And then from nothing, from first setting up a Facebook page, she now has an office inside her home. So their home is like half smaller. She set up an office there. Like first, like really just like plastic chairs. And now someone gave her like a little bit furniture. And, you know, she tries to get like sponsors here and there, you know, to sponsor her, to give like certain products that lupus patients need and like distribute like knowledge. She's really awesome. Rihanna, if you see this, like shout out to you. And everybody in media who thinks like this might be a cool story, contact her. She has a cool story.
And, you know, how do you feel now being a part of something that is bigger than you are, using your platform, using your voice to bring the awareness to people? Like you're speaking there and you're smiling and your whole body is telling me like you're really happy. How do you really feel about the fact that you did it? People saw you, they were commenting, they were interacting. How does it make you feel that you're able to do this?
Yeah, no, it's I'm pretty happy about that. You know, I really love to, you know, just some of the good parts. You know, like in Trinidad, it was mostly about like showing the good parts of the country. But I think, you know, a little bit more. I hope I showed also a little bit of the good parts of Tobago. You know, so some nice food. I still need to try. Crab and dumplings. I still didn't get that. No,
crab and dumplings yet.
I don't know, for some reason I didn't. I tried to do that today.
Yes, you should. You must.
I have to send him to Strawberry. Yes, we can get something.
That's right. Definitely do that today, you guys. Of course, that is one of the things we boast about here on the island of Tobago. Our food and crab and dumpling is a must. Where next?
Venezuela. First Trinidad, but then I want to go to Venezuela. I need to prepare a little bit, you know. I wanna live like in the like remote part of the jungle there, and you know, I need to prepare about that, like get my medications and like get some contacts going, and you know, like visa stuff and. Yeah, so Venezuela. I'm like traveling the world. I'm not sure if people know, but if people want to know, like basically my thing is, everything here is an accident. I started from Germany. My goal is I want to travel once around the world, starting with no money, earning everything along the way. and not using planes. That's basically my thing.
Wow.
And I worked in pizza factory in Berlin. I worked in Paris in a nightclub. That's how I funded myself, and I just don't really spend that much. And I just came here, and it just happened.
Absolutely amazing story, and we want to wish you the very best as you continue. We want to continue seeing your story. It doesn't end here for us in Trinidad and Tobago, especially in Tobago. It doesn't end here for us. We want to see where you go, what you do, and how you influence and impact lives, and important stories like the Looper story. And so we want to continue that journey with us. So we hope that you take us on the journey as well with you, and we hope, of course, you raise more awareness for all the causes that you are doing this for. So all the very best to you. And Bashir, thank you guys so much for joining us this morning as you brought that information to us. Ladies and gentlemen, we've been speaking with Tilo and Bashir as we spoke about that walk around the island of Tobago. Of course, he did it in Trinidad first, and of course talking about Tobago, the experience here, and completing that walk barefooted. Yes. Wow, amazing things there. So that is what has happened, and we're hoping to see where he goes next. Venezuela, and of course, let's see how the journey continues with him. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's where we end the morning show on Tobago Updates Television, but we don't end our programming here. We move on over to Tobago Notes and then on to GMT. So stay with us. And as you stay with us, of course, we invite you to help us share the live, share the live, share the live.
What we have today is a technical rehearsal for the students, so they are being exposed to the use of the miking system here, and we also have them actually learning public speaking. So today they will have a number of persons speaking to them, and they will get accustomed standing and speaking in the Assembly Legislature. The brainchild of this actual debate and this process is Presiding Officer Ms. Abby Taylor. She saw it fit to have the students involved at a very young age because we wanted to expose them to the governance system so they would understand what happens here and they would see how it would affect and apply to them.
My students are very excited. Actually, we all, especially the students, welcome the opportunity to participate in this debate because as students, they sometimes think that their voices are not being heard. And they have really very strong feelings concerning this SCA examination. And it is an opportunity for them to feel as if what they say, what they think, their opinions matter. So this is a very exciting time for them and they are really looking forward to it.
I'm glad for all the training sessions because it has made me more confident going into the debate.
I feel very good to see that I can get to be in the chambers for this wonderful experience, getting to meet the presiding officer, getting ready to learn the rules. I feel very good.
We at Anglican are really grateful for the opportunity because we believe that debate exposes children at this age to serious skills that they would need for life. Public speaking, listening, problem solving, and it also teaches them emotional intelligence in handling disagreements with respect.
That was a production of the Department of Information, Office of the Chief Secretary, Tobago House of Assembly.
Tobago Glass
Supplies has been a leading name for over 37 years in the glass and aluminum market in Tobago. We provide an extensive range of high-quality, innovative aluminum and glass products for commercial and residential use. Competitive prices with superior and professional services by committed employees who are guided by rigid quality standards. Tobago Glass Supply specializes in the manufacture and installation of glass and aluminum products that are essential to today's homeowners and the business environment. We are engaged in marketing, sales, and installation of a variety of products. These ranges from windows and doors to necessities such as mirrors for homes and vehicles, designed and manufactured in-house or imported.
The best place to stay in Tobago is at Thorn's Place, with rates starting as low as 200 TT. Call or WhatsApp 745-7306 or 682-8676. We are located uptown Scarborough, 5 minutes away from the port. Remember, at Thorn's Place, our aim is to make your stay safe and affordable.
Good morning, and welcome to Good Morning Tobago right here on Tobago Updates. Guys, you know, when you see me sitting here, it's because we're about to have those conversations that you want to have while I ask those questions that you want asked. But before we get into this morning's conversation, let's have our news in 90 seconds.
News in 90 seconds is brought to you by Standards, never beaten on quality and prices.
Chief Secretary Farley Augustine stated that the 50 million supplementary allocation expected by the THA in the upcoming mid-year review would not cover all expenses incurred from the February 7th oil spill. Despite the approval of the sum by the Standing Finance Committee of the Representatives, the THA's request for 153 million to assist in the oil spill effort remains unmet. Augustine emphasized that the 50 million will not suffice to settle outstanding contractors' payments or compensate affected fisherfolk. Augustine expressed uncertainty regarding the sufficiency of the allocated funds for future efforts, emphasizing the need for additional resources beyond the initial cleanup phase. Additionally, 44 women entrepreneurs from the east of Tobago would be featured in the Women's Business Pop-Up Show on June 8th at the Sporting Complex Car Park in Roxborough. The event, created by Delaford-born Olivia Andre Chadban, a part-time UWI psychology student and owner of Vintage Showroom and Vintage Jewelry, aims to promote women from the eastern side of the island. Chadban focuses on fostering a supportive environment for women to explore their creativity and entrepreneurial potential. Building on the success of last year's event, Chadban is enthusiastic about promoting local economic growth and showcasing the talent of the eastern side of the island. Additionally, leader of the National Transformation Alliance and former Police Commissioner Gary Griffith has offered his assistance to Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley to address the escalating crime situation in the country. Griffith highlighted his achievements in reducing serious and violent crime during his tenure as National Security Minister and Police Commissioner. He criticized the current National Security Minister Fitzgerald Hines for lacking the necessary expertise to solve the crime problem and argued that operational strategies rather than legislative amendments are crucial for crime reduction. Griffith urged
Rowley to prioritize national safety over political differences, offering to implement proven strategies to restore order. Rowley has not yet responded to Griffith's proposal. And that was our news in 90 seconds.
Need a fresh start? Upgrade your life with the things you want. At Standard Distributors in Canaan, life is good with zero. Get that amazing fridge, the stylish sofa with zero down and easy financing. Your dream house is within reach. Visit Standard Distributors today. Life is good with zero.
Good morning and welcome back to Good Morning Tobago. As we kick off this morning's discussion, we're talking all things chocolate. And to have this conversation with me, I'm speaking with Dwayne Dove from the Tobago Estate Chocolate. From the Tobago Chocolate Estate. Good morning, Mr. Dove. How are you? Good morning. He should be joining us very soon. This morning, we're speaking about the bronze medal that his company would have won in the international chocolate competition. So as he comes on this morning, we're going to chat more about that and a number of other conversations to be had. But before we move on to that, I want to say a special congratulations to Mrs. Olivia Andre Chadban. This is the young lady who would be hosting that pop-up shop at Roxborough Complex on Saturday, and we look forward to an amazing entrepreneurial market. It's expected to be really good with a number of entrepreneurs, women and men, being there to showcase what they do here on the island of Tobago to contribute to economic growth and development. But before we get into this morning's conversation, as we wait on our guests, we're going to take a quick break right here, and we'll be back right after this.
Rotisserie, mouth-watering fries, salads, combos, and specials galore. Feeling for something to eat? Come and see. Our rotisserie is seasoned to the T. Kicking chicken, masala, and jerk roast. Crispy fries made from scratch. Who do you know can beat that? Or salads freshly cut and packed. When you taste it, you'll be wanting to come back. So come check us out on number 2 Robinson Street, Uptown Scarborough, Tobago. We open on Saturday nights from 7:30 to 11:30 p.m. Monday to Thursday, we're open from 10 a.m. to 9:30 p.m. and on Friday, 10 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Contact us at 772-7443 and all social media handles at The Rotisserie Factory.
And we're back with Mr. Dwayne Dove from the Tobago Chocolate Estate, and we're talking all about that International Chocolate Award from the European Finals. Good morning, Mr. Dove. Good morning.
Are you hearing me? Good morning.
I can hear you clearly.
Right.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Now, again, we see that your chocolate making splashes globally. Talk to us a bit about this competition that you guys entered this year and your history in entering chocolate competitions.
Well, thank you very much. I want to begin by just showing you the award that we won, which was from the International Chocolate Awards. We received the European Finals. We got bronze. And this is a very, very difficult and tough competition. So we are very proud of this. And the bar that won this prize is our Tobago Farmers Bar, which is what you're seeing here right now. Right? And briefly, basically, we have been making chocolate since 2010. And we've been entering to competitions since 2011. So our first award we won was 2011, and we've been winning awards every year, besides the pandemic years, because there weren't any competitions really in those years. So we're very proud of this accomplishment, and it is a Danish guy, a friend of mine that we're working with. And just to let you know, in the same category which we won, which is a dark milk category, he won gold and tied for silver. So he made really like a clean sweep in the whole competition.
Excellent. And what about the distribution of this chocolate in Tobago? Where can we get this chocolate?
Right. So right now, I think you can get it at RT Moorshead in in Bethany in Mount Pleasant area, and you should be able to get it at the A&R Robinson's International Departures Lounge at Go On Bananas. One of our biggest problems we have is actually getting our cocoa, because for the past 10 years we have been having so many problems with the parrots. We have been losing so much stock, so much cocoa from the parrot damage. While the THA has actually gone in and assisted us now with a new birds carrying device called a whaler. They introduced it in Tobago for coquelicot and parrots in January, and we were privileged to be the first farm to receive it. And we're hoping to get it back in August. And once we can keep the parrots away, we can harvest more cocoa, we can start planting more cocoa, and we can make more chocolate. So right now, we're working with just the little we have, basically, but we proven to the world that we have the finest cocoa in Trinidad and Tobago, and we've taken home all these international awards.
Excellent. And how does this contribute to Tobago's tourism internationally?
Well, let me tell you, as you can see, it says Tobago. All of our other products, all right, I'm just showing you, our Laura says Tobago, our sea salt Buku Reef says Tobago, and our dark 70% says Tobago. So every product we make, we brand in Tobago. And our chocolates, they're available in Trinidad and Tobago, but really and truly our market is the international market. So you can get our chocolates in Europe, and as far back as Australia and New Zealand, you can get our chocolates. So we really brand in Tobago internationally.
Excellent. We have the Tobago Day celebrations that's coming up in New York over the summertime. Would you guys be there? Would you be present? Would you be at the event? Is this something that you might be interested in going to meet with other Tobagonians and even sell chocolate at the festival?
Well, I haven't heard about that festival, to be very honest with you. We usually attend most of our festivals, most of our, trade fairs, etc. It's usually like from September, October until, let's say, April, May. So it's in the cooler months, basically. So right now we have a festival that we'll be attending in Denmark in August, on the 25th of August, which is a craft chocolate festival, first of its kind in Denmark. And the guy that we work with, Fritz Holm, who we won this award with now, he will be there. So we will be in his stand, on his stand, and talking about our partnership, etc. And just to let you know, we are planning to do at least 2 more products with the same guy who we won the award with now. So we're hoping for Christmas that we would have 2 more products. We'll have a line of 3 products from this guy.
Okay. And what can we look forward to from the Tobago Estate chocolate?
Well, we have a lot of coffee on the estates. We might do something with coffee, a coffee bar, and a lot of people have been asking us if we're going to do 100% bar, right? Which is really a fully purest chocolate bar, which means there's no sugar. It's just the pure cocoa flavor, the richness of our Trinitario cocoa, which is the butter and the mass together. So we will see what we decide to do, but we're still recovering from the pandemic, so we're still catching up. As you know, at our estate, we do also tours with the cruise ships, etc. And the cruise ship season has really been good to Tobago the past 2 years post-pandemic. So we're hoping to receive more tourists for the coming season, and we're hoping to have more products. And with this new device that the THA has provided us with, we're hoping to save more of our cocoa so that the parrots don't eat it all, basically.
Excellent. And we want to say congratulations to you on another International Chocolate Award. And we wish you all the best moving forward in the future. And you do have our support here at Tobago Updates. Again, we want to thank you.
And just to let you know, this chocolate here, now we advance to the World Finals, which is in November, because we won bronze. So it will be a very stiff competition. But this bar would have probably won silver or gold now, but it's already 1 year old. We made it last year, and we made it too late to submit to last year's competition. So if we make a new batch now before the World Finals, I'm telling you, we will definitely bring home the gold.
Well, we look forward to that, and we hope that you would keep us updated on that win that we are all waiting and anticipating for. So we want to thank you for coming on, and we're going to have a quick break right here. See you soon, guys.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Hey, assemblers! I am Kimura Reed, your presiding officer for the first ever primary plenary debate to be done nationally under the People's House. Join us at 10 a.m. on Thursday, June the 6th, 2024 at the Assembly Chamber as 18 primary schools from the east, west, and north of the island will engage in a thought-provoking debate on the impacts and effects of the SEA examination as members of the THA.
My name is Leston Paul, and the reason why they should keep the SEA exam is because it's a standardized test, and the three most important things you need to know is maths, language arts, and creative writing.
My name is Stando George, and I believe that they should ban SEA because of the physical and mental stress that it gives to the students.
Come to the public gallery or tune in live to our Facebook and YouTube links. We've got it locked, loaded, and ready to go. Thursday, June the 6th at 10 a.m. This is certainly one for the books.
Tobago, we reached the biggest comedy event of 2024, finally in Tobago for one night only at Shaw Park.
My body, and I'm not in the mood.
Yeah, but you haven't been in the mood for the last 6 months. Love is a Walk, which played to sold-out houses across Trinidad, is coming to Tobago for one night only on Saturday, June 8th at 8:30 p.m.
You promised this would be the last time.
Yes, I tell you, it's the last time, I swear.
You sure about that?
Tickets for Love is a Walk available at the Shaw Park Complex daily and at advertised outlets. Check social media for details. Shaw Park, Saturday, June 8th.
Deltec Distributors Weekend Special Wings Friday. 3 pounds wings, 2.5 kilogram fries. Special 100 TT Soup Saturday. 2 pounds cube beef, 2 pounds cow heel, 2 pounds chicken foot, 2 pounds pigtail, or smoke bone. Special $150. Super Sunday. 3 pounds leg and thigh chicken, 3 pounds sliced pork, 3 pounds lamb slice, 3 pounds cheese, 2 pack of pasta. Special $250. Located Main Road, Argyle, Tobago. We deliver 20 TT. Contact us on deltecdistributors.com 395-5040 or 237-0102. Deltec Distributors Weekend Special.
It's a brand new morning, rise up to a brand new dawning as the passion start to rise. The energy fill the skies. I say thanks for favor to wake up and
Good morning and welcome back to Good Morning Tobago right here on Tobago Updates. As we continue this morning's conversation, we're touching a bit on the crime situation that we've seen escalated here in Tobago. And to have that conversation with me this morning, I am speaking with retired Assistant Police Commissioner William Nurse. Good morning, Mr. Nurse, and thank you for coming this morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you very much for having me, and to your viewer and listenership, wherever they are. Good morning.
Yes. we have seen somewhat of an unprecedented hike in crime here in Tobago in regards to the frequency of these incidences in such a short space of time. What comments do you have on this crime escalation?
Well, one of the negative attendants of economic prosperity is crime. And while there may be some people who may think that in Tobago there is no economic prosperity, I tend to disagree with that. So crime is one of the things that will follow you as you develop. I hold the view that while the situation in Tobago is concerning, it is not alarming.
Okay.
And I have confidence that it can and will be fixed.
Okay. And what steps do you think should be taken from a policy level, seeing that the THA does not have control over national security, to try to deal with or to collaborate in order to help with the escalated crime situation?
Let me tread very carefully here. The Tobago House of Assembly does not have matters of national security under its remit in relation to the 5th schedule of the THA Act. That's a 6th schedule matter. At the same time, the Tobago House of Assembly is the largest stakeholder on the island where crime is concerned, and anything that touches on concerns the Tobago space and affects the Tobago space, the Tobago House of Assembly must have a voice. That's one. And that is as much as I would say on that. But crime, by and large, and you know, it's dealing with, is the responsibility of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. If you look at leadership in crime fighting is very important. And I'm very pleased to say, with fear of no contradiction, that the senior superintendent, the newly installed senior superintendent, Mr. Kirk, is a very able person. And I have that kind of confidence in his leadership. And I believe going forward, we may see, whether gradual or drastic drop, especially in murders and so on. He has worked in the Homicide Bureau of Investigation for a very, very long time. And he's very adept in terms of homicide investigations. And I know the homicide unit here in Tobago can benefit tremendously from his experience. Now, there are 3 things that I would like to tell the police. I recommend to them. Crime fighting has, in my view, I used a 3-prong approach. 3 pillars. 1, police presence, patrols, exercises, whatever you use. Number 2, robust investigation. And let me repeat that for emphasis. Robust investigation. And the 3rd one is public education campaign. If you educate your public, there are some people who think that some things they do does not amount to a crime. And it is indeed a crime. As simple as washing a vehicle on the street is an offense. Simple. And people don't know. And therefore, the public education aspect of crime fighting will take care of that. Investigation, you have to pursue your criminals, and you have to do it not just as a witch hunt or a fishing expedition, but it has to be driven by good investigation and good intelligence. Those are the 2 pillars. And the 3rd one, police presence. Targeted patrols where your hotspots are. You can't say that there are areas that the police can't go into in Tobago. Police must be able to go everywhere. And therefore, it is that commanding of the respect. And finally, once the people in Tobago know that you are dealing with their concerns, trust me, information will flow like a river to such an extent that the police might not be able to hold on.
Well, that's what I was going to get to. How do we really gather the intelligence where there is a lack of confidence in police?
Well, now people use these terms very loosely, and I don't subscribe to it. Some of the things that people say against the police in some areas, it totally misunderstood, I must say. Now, when people, let us take the little things, and too often people tend to want to wait for the big ones. If somebody makes a report to you at the station and you deal with that report efficiently, trust me, you've gained the trust of somebody. And let us say that there are 10 reports like that, and all were dealt with at that level. You have 10 people. People want to know that the police investigate their reports. There are too many reports at the station level that are not being attended to. People leave, when people come to the station and they leave, they must not leave the same way they came. And that is where the policing will begin to go back to the basic and do the simple little things, taking it from there.
And now we're seeing that the criminals are even more technologically savvy. Do you think that there's a gap between the type of technologies that exist for crime fighting and what is currently being utilized within the service?
Well, what I know, I retired I left the police service in September 2022. What I can tell you is this. The police service has spent a lot of money on intelligence apparatus and units within the police service, which I will not name, I'm not dare to name them, that possess both the ability and the equipment to produce intelligence for police officers on the beat. That will be extraordinary. Whether they use it, I don't know. That's Tobago in itself is maybe a little hamstring that been separated by waters. It's a standalone island, and most of these groups and units are in Trinidad. So you have to you have to get them across. You have to go down to them and so on. But I would like to see for Tobago a more autonomous police service, a better equipped police service, more than just vehicles and guns and so on. But you have smaller units of these very important departments in the police service attached to Tobago, and you can access them more readily. One of them is the cybercrime unit. Why should Tobago not? One of the things that I know is that they have brought the fraud squad to Tobago, and that's a good move. But we need more than just human resource. We need technical resource as well.
Excellent. And as we move forward, you made your recommendations in terms of your three-pronged approach. But what role do you think the public has to play when it comes to crime fighting?
Well, let us know, in all aspects of that, the public are included,
Mm-hmm.
Let us take the public education campaign. It doesn't only take the form of a media presentation.
Mm-hmm.
It takes the form of a town meeting. It takes the form of a walkabout. It takes the form, take for example Roxborough. If this Assistant Commissioner of Police in Tobago and all the First Division officers in Tobago take a walk through Roxborough town in uniform on a Friday, tell me what that will do to the psyche of the people. It means it tells them that we are not only sitting in office, we are coming down to meet you. And you will be amazed. I have done it, and it has worked for me. While I was here in Tobago, even as an assistant superintendent, I invited my senior super and ACP to walk with me down Scarborough Town. And people will stop your boss. Oh, listen, there's a lot of goodwill in the Tobago public for the police. A lot of goodwill. You'll be amazed how people love the police. And the police must find and harness the goodwill. Don't abuse it.
Okay. And as we wrap up, you know that there's a situation happening where a Canadian blogger came to Trinidad and Tobago, and he basically filmed some content in some hotspot areas with gang members who were brandishing weapons and just talking about their affiliation to different gangs and, you know, maybe expressing some anti-government sentiments. And he was then arrested for sedition. Now, we know when we talk about sedition, we're talking about anything that comes against the government or information that can basically incite the public to want to rise up against the government or the administration of the day. Now, it's hard to pinpoint any place or point in the content that he posted that demonstrates that. Do you have any thoughts on the situation or the matter that's unfolding?
I've seen snippets of it. I found a few things about it. Number one, the Canadian was very brave. He was indeed, in my opinion, wrong. And the police were right to have arrested and interviewed him. Whether they charged him or not is another issue. But once they have good reason, in accordance with Section 3, chapter of the Criminal Law Act, Chapter 1004, if they believe with unreasonable grounds that an arrestable offense has been committed, that section gives the police the right to arrest without a warrant. Now, the arrest there must not just stop there. It is the records that you keep of those arrests and what you do in the process that is important. Right? So, now, René Dumas made a statement some years ago, and he said, never you ever joke about where you live. Too many people in this country joke about Trinidad and Tobago, and they boast to the world that we are a banana republic. We are a place that does not exist. Trinidad and Tobago is indeed a real place. The laws of Trinidad and Tobago must be observed. And when visitors come here, they must observe our laws. And I must commend the police for acting so precipitously in that matter.
So when you're saying you believe he is wrong, explain to us where you saw seditious content in what
No,
he
I am
posted.
not saying that I saw seditious content. I am simply saying if the police believe that there was reasonable grounds and there was an infringement, a possible infringement of the Sedition Act, then the police must act. Section 3, Chapter 1004 of the Criminal Law Act of Trinidad and Tobago gives them that right because sedition is an arrestable offense. That act itself defines what is an arrestable offense, right?
Okay.
Right?
So it's possible for them to then investigate after the arrest whether or not it indeed was sedition?
Well, there are many considerations for an arrester. An arrest can be designed to stop the continuation of a criminal act, a perceived criminal act, or a suspected criminal act. It can be designed to protect people from danger. For example, let us take a drunken man driving. You found him. That arrest will not only protect the public, but it will also protect the man from himself, being a danger to himself.
Okay. And when we look at the Sedition Act, it also talks about publishing seditious content. So it doesn't necessarily have to be the publisher who said something seditious or did something. Just the publishing of the material can be seen as covered under the Act. But can you give people a better understanding of what the Sedition Act has
Well,
to do?
I wish I had known beforehand that we were coming to talk about that. And if we were to take the literal meaning of sedition, right? Anybody can type in sedition and they'll get the meaning. It says sedition is an overt conduct, such as speech, organization that tend towards rebellion against the established order. Sedition often includes subversion of a constitution and incitement of discontent towards or insurrection against established authority. Now, how do you know that something is seditious? It may be by speech or publication. And if you're publishing something that is seditious, then you must expect the authorities to have a conversation with you.
Right. So do you think that in a situation where disclosure would have been made on the videos, let's just say for instance, whereby the publisher separates himself from anything that is said in the video, can that be a counter to sedition?
If you record a seditious statement, what is the right thing to do with it? Publish it? I mean, let's use our this requires a common sense approach here.
Right.
I have in my possession a seditious statement that I recorded. I'm a publisher. And what you do, you publish it for the world?
I mean, it depends, in my perspective, based on the type of content and the message that he's trying to send, or the documentary type series that he has been trying to create. The things that were said expose a story behind why these young men feel like they need to be a part of these gangs. So I don't think that intentionally he would have understood that this can be deemed sedition, but it was more of a personal explanation of the young men for why it is that they felt like these gangs were their family, as opposed to the government that exists in Trinidad and Tobago, by highlighting statements like, we never see politicians until election time.
Well, that in itself is not seditious. Within the seditious statement itself, there may be other statements which are which might be pertinent, good statements. But you have to deal with the seditious content. And I will advise publishers that before you publish something, get legal advice on it. You understand what I'm saying? Because, did you say the blogger was from Canada?
Yes.
And what made him think that the laws of Trinidad and Tobago are so dissimilar to that of Canada? Canada is part of the Commonwealth. And most of the Commonwealth of nations draw their laws from the English legal system and so on. For example, if the government is going to enact a law in Trinidad and Tobago, what they do the research. They may pull from Canada. They may pull from other Commonwealth nations, and therefore he ought to have known or have an inclination or a belief that, you see, this looks kind of dangerous. Let me take some legal advice on it, and that is why lawyers are here to advise you.
Understood. So even a statement of separation from whatever is in the video has no bearings when it comes to sedition.
No, well, even if the seditious statement is a minute part of it, let me give you an example. Let me leave the example. even if the seditious statement is a minute part of a larger statement, it is fruit from the poison tree. You understand what I'm saying? It's like the police officers did not comply with the judge's rule and then took a statement, and then flowing from the statement, you recover exhibits. All of these will be fruit from the poison tree. And therefore, I will advise again, all journalists, before you particularly those who do investigative journalism, before you publish, take advice from your attorney.
Thank you so much. We want to thank you for coming on this morning and giving us your perspective and letting us know, some of your ideas in regards to crime fighting. Again, we want to say thank you for giving us the time here to Big Up This. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be back right after this.
Hey, assemblers! I am Kimura Reed, your presiding officer for the first ever primary plenary debate to be done nationally under the People's House. Join us at 10 a.m. on Thursday, June the 6th, 2024 at the Assembly Chamber as 18 primary schools from the east, west, and north of the island will engage in a thought-provoking debate on the impacts and effects of the SEA examination as members of the THA.
My name is Leston Paul, and the reason why they should keep the SEA exam is because it's a standardized test, and the three most important things you need to know is maths, language arts, and creative writing.
My name is Stando George, and I believe that they should ban SEA because of the physical and mental stress that it gives to the students.
Come to the public gallery or tune in live to our Facebook and YouTube links. We've got it locked, loaded, and ready to go. Thursday, June the 6th at 10 a.m. This is certainly one for the books.
Tobago, the date has been set. Saturday, June 22nd, we head to the Jade Monkey once again for the launch of their 2024 Jufi and Mass Band presentation for Tobago Carnival. On Saturday, June 22nd, we gather at the Jade Monkey to get a glimpse of the Jade Monkey Mass presentation for 2024, the Tobago Festival, and also the launch of the Jade Monkey Juve, Monkey See, Monkey Do.
I come from the Twin Island of Canada.
Get ready for another year of Tobago Carnival with the best band in Tobago, Jade Monkey Mass and the Jade Monkey Juve. So come out on June 22nd as we launch Monkey See, Monkey Do Juve, and for Tobago Mass, the Tobago Festival's presentation, brought to you by the Jade Monkey. This one powered by Carib, Digicel, and Next 99.1 FM, a member of the TTT Limited Media Network. Jade Monkey.
Go down in the center, go down.
Need a fresh start? Upgrade your life with the things you want. At Standard Distributors in Canaan, life is good with zero. Get that amazing fridge, the stylish sofa with zero down and easy financing. Your dream house is within reach. Visit Standard Distributors today. Life is good with zero.
Road rotisserie, mouth-watering fries, salads, combos, and specials galore. Feeling for something to eat? Come and see. Our rotisserie is seasoned to the T. Kicking chicken, masala, and jerk roast. Crispy fries made from scratch. Who do you know can't beat that? Or salads freshly cut and packed. When you taste it, you'll be wanting to come back. So come check us out on number 2 Robinson Street, Uptown Scarborough, Tobago. We open on Saturday nights from 7:30 to 11:30 p.m. Monday to Thursday, we're open from 10 a.m. to 9:30 p.m. And on Friday, 10 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Contact us at 772-7443 and all social media handles at The Rotisserie Factory.
Deltec Distributors Weekend Special Wings Friday. 3 pounds wings, 2.5 kilogram fries. Special 100 TT. Soup Saturday. 2 pounds cube beef, 2 pounds cow heel, 2 pounds chicken foot, 2 pounds pigtail, or smoke bone. Special $150. Super Sunday. 3 pounds leg and thigh chicken, 3 pounds sliced pork, 3 pounds lamb slice, 3 pounds cheese, 2 pack of pasta. Special $250. Located Main Road, Argyle, Tobago. We deliver 20 TT. Contact us on deltecdistributors.com 395-5040 or 237-0102. Deltec Distributors Weekend Special.
Good morning, and welcome back to Good Morning Tobago right here on Tobago Updates. As we continue our conversations this morning, we're talking about all the vibes, and we're talking about Tight Spaces acoustic tour that's happening in Tobago tonight at Beverly Oasis Suites. And to have this conversation with me this morning, I have a full house. I have Mr. Mohammed Muwakil, Mr. Lou Lyons, and Tobago's we have two Tobago very own, because Mr. Lou, you are also from Tobago, and we have our boy Xavier Edwards here. So we want to thank you guys for coming on, and we're talking about the Tight Space acoustic tour. Tell us a bit, Mr. Muwakil, about this tour and what really created the essence behind the tour.
So in 2018, when we wanted to release our first album, we felt as though after being locked away for so long creating the album, we wanted to reconnect with our fan base, with our residents. And we decided to do this tour. that was, when we call it tight spaces, is because we were doing it in very small business spaces that couldn't hold more than like 40 people. To really kind of create the acoustic experience is where we started from. Fast forward a few years, we were heading out to London last year, and we decided that before we left to go to London, we wanted to do that same thing again. And so we revamped the idea of doing the tight space acoustic tours just to reconnect with the residents of Freetown.
Right. And we know that when you have that acoustics, it's a different kind of energy, a different type of vibe, very slow, very mellow, very cool, very chill. How does this reflect the essence of the actual album that you guys are about to put out, Mr. Lyons?
Well, every song has to start from a very spiritual place, as in from your spirit as an artist. And we believe as long as a song could be broken down into vocals and probably one instrument, you have a song. If you need about 10 instruments to make it work, you have a tune.
That is very interesting, and it speaks to the quality of work that you guys are putting out. Tell us a bit about this new album.
Right, so the name of this album is called Beyond the Machine, and it's a very conceptual album, but the basic story of it is the journey, everyone's personal journey to their point of enlightenment. You come into the world a bit naive, and so everything is perfect, everything is enjoyable until you have that innocence taken from you, whether it be by trauma or some personal calamity, and then you struggle with what is the reason for this thing happening to me. And we think that transcendence is this place of perfection where nothing bad happens. But beyond the machine is when we get to that place of surrender and understanding that it's a cycle. You're in this place of rest, you're in this place of work, you're in this place of bad things, this place of good things. And it's you finding your balance in the midst of all of this and understanding that you exist outside of all of that.
Right. And Mr. Mwakil, when we talk about the machine, there's no machine without handlers, right? And we are of the understanding that there's a deeper system at play. So is it that you are appealing to persons who understand the systemic dynamic of the world that we operate in, or you are trying to enlighten persons who don't really understand what is happening?
No one ever became free by appealing to their oppressors. Meaning, like, just making an appeal, please free me. We didn't come here by accident. We were not the original inhabitants of this land. And I often feel like we are living in a way where we don't understand the context of our existence. We did not reach here on these islands by accident. And the machinery that was put in place to put us here
still exists.
It still exists. We still live within it. We are still functioning within it. And we have not, in many ways, revolutionized our thinking and the way that we exist to counteract the system that we're still living in. We don't examine certain things. I mean, even in the interview that you were seeing before, there are still certain things that are in place that we as a people have sat down and said, is this really working for us? But then to know if it's working for us, we have to have a us. Who are we? You understand? Before you could even get to that point. So no, we're not really appealing to the ones who in charge of where we are now. We are actually trying to make people realize the power is in our hands.
Okay.
You know what I mean? To change things in a very real way.
Right. And to operate differently.
Absolutely.
From a more free place.
Yeah.
And Xavier, you often talk about living free. Talk to us about how the album that they're producing and what they are doing really aligns with your work in this space.
I think the resonance is evident. And so even here having this conversation now, I just listening to them and I'm glad to sit and hear what they're saying in person because it resonates as so true and honest. And sometimes people think about living free or, as you mentioned, beyond the machine as some sort of anarchy or absolute chaos. I living free, No, because you still living within it, just as a slave to other aspects of the same machine. So it's just really important to take the time and sit and analyze and know your history, know your story, go inside into your own spirit and find out the essence of who you are and then navigate from that place. Because before freedom could really exist, awareness is a prerequisite.
That's right.
So, firstly, and then to get...
I like the fact that you highlighted that as being freedom being from a place of knowledge, understanding, and operating within that. Because when people think of people who think they are free, they think of persons who are maybe anti-government in their thinking or anti-systemic. But you would have highlighted that it's still operating within a system, but understanding the system that you operate in. And talk to us a bit about how this philosophy has appealed globally, because we see that you guys have been in the UK and you are going to be back there at the end of June to perform at the Gladstoneberry Music Festival. So tell us a bit about the global appeal of the understanding that you guys are under.
Yeah, the machine is like to break everything down to its basic elements so it could use it, right? So it took our music and it looked at the music and said, oh, y'all are happy. You're happy people. Y'all just live and y'all exist happily. I could use that. Yeah, man, be happy, be happy, be happy. And you're telling me that from my specific history and the things that we have gone through to come here, right, on all sides, that we are not creating music that is self-reflecting in a world that is so full of pain, in a world that wants to experience true happiness and true joy, not something that's been manufactured through words and through expressions, right? So when we, and I know that Zal feels the same way too, when we make the music that we make, the reason that it resonates is because we are talking about a human experience, not something that's manufactured. People everywhere are just people. I don't care what your skin color is, I don't care, you know what I mean?
Correct. I was just about to hit on that because a lot of your supporters are not even of our, you know, same ethnicity. So the message goes beyond race.
Yes.
And it goes to understanding of the machinery or just the systemic oppression that persons face, whether it be gender-based oppression, whether it be, you know, because of their association to any particular thing or how they identify within their social groups. Tell us a bit about your experience here in Tobago and Tobago's response that you have seen in the past, and what are you expecting tonight?
I'm excited to be back home. Tobago has been such a pivotal part of Freetown Collective's journey and trajectory. I don't think there has ever been a way for Tobagonians to know that. The very first producer we've ever worked with is a friend of mine called James Squashy from Spring Gardens right there in Tobago. The first mixtape we ever recorded, Muhammad and I came to Tobago, had nowhere to sleep. We stayed in an abandoned building on the floor and went to studio the very next day, record the entire mixtape in one night. Tobago has housed a very important energy that we've been able to tap in. So tonight is really about community in a real way, extending an embrace to Tobago and letting Tobago know you have been part of this journey. So when you hear songs like Feel the Love, don't think it's a Trinidad song that busts and coming over to Tobago. Tobago has always been a part of the recipe, and that's what tonight is about, community.
Well, to be honest, I'm sold. So I'm there, right? I'm there. So that means Tobago is going to be there, guys. We're going to come out tonight and we're going to support them. We're going to support their new album that's coming out, Beyond the Machine. And we're also supporting your performance come at the end of June. Xavier, you have partnered with them and you are going to be on the show tonight. Tell us what we can expect from you this evening.
I'm going to do something I've never really done before in terms of performing. It's just going to be me and my keyboard. And so I recently got a keyboard and I've been practicing on it, and what a better opportunity than is to connect with the audience and, you know, the community in that kind of way where it's just me and you all, and, you know, see how that feels. I'm looking forward to it.
And you see Freetown, they are bringing Beyond the Machine. What message are you bringing tonight?
Living free is always the goal, but just mindful that awareness is the prerequisite. So let's start there and, you know, evolve as a people from time.
Right, and our viewers are global. We have persons listening from Trinidad as well, and they are also able to follow the Tight Space Acoustic Tour by going to Naparima Bowl, because you'll be there next, as well as the next venue will be where?
So we are in Naprima Bowl on the 13th of June, and then we are in Sound Forge on Mokarapa Road on the 19th of June, which will be the finale. Yeah.
Okay, so we end off on Thursday in Port of Spain.
Yeah, the 19th.
All right, on the 19th. Guys, you heard it here. Tonight, though, we are at Beverly Oasis Suites in Lowland.
We want to really thank Beverly Oasis Suites for coming on board really early on and giving us that support. We want to thank Vemco as well. We want to thank UTC. We want to thank Massey. And all our sponsors who have come on board, Guardian Media Limited, for giving us the support. You know, we make music that exists slightly outside of the mainstream and sometimes far outside the mainstream. And for people, you know, for entities to come and support us, for us, that's huge, you know. So we're really thankful for that.
Okay, and where can persons get tickets? Except, I mean, I see Island E.
Pay by the door tonight.
Yeah.
Pay by the door tonight. We have come through. There
will be no hindrances between you and your intention to come tonight.
Yeah.
We're making it real easy.
Just come through. If you can't access Island tickets, come and pay at the door. We have no problem.
All right, well, we will be there. We'll be there to support.
And we would like to extend 2 complimentary tickets to Tobago updates. Whoever you...
I mean, I'm going to be there anyway. So. All right, guys. Well, that's the end of our interview here with Freetown Collective and Xavier Edwards. We will see you right back after this break.
Let's go. It's a brand new morning. Rise up to a brand new dawning. As the passion start to rise, the energy fill the skies. I say thanks for favor to wake up and hear me neighbor.
Hey, assemblers! I am Kimura Reed, your presiding officer for the first ever primary plenary debate to be done nationally under the People's House. Join us at 10 a.m. on Thursday, June the 6th, 2024 at the Assembly Chamber as 18 primary schools from the east, west, and north of the island will engage in a thought-provoking debate on the impacts and effects of the SEA examination as members of the THA.
My name is Leston Paul, and the reason why they should keep the SEA exam is because it's a standardized test, and the 3 most important things you need to know is maths, language arts, and creative writing.
My name is Stando George, and I believe that they should ban SEA because of the physical and mental stress that it gives to the students.
Come to the public gallery or tune in live to our Facebook and YouTube links. We've got it locked, loaded, and ready to go. Thursday, June the 6th at 10 a.m. This is certainly one for the books.
No place like home, home, home.
Oh, I love Tobago, baby. When we outside, it's an ocean of love. All that we align to the stars up above. Let we dance now, take a chance now with me. And we go jump till morning. Look, the moon gone sleeping. Tell them we not leaving till the last drop of a canal is madness in the capital. So I feel like I'm running tongue again. Jump and shake the ground again. Play with all my friends and them. No place like home, home, home. We go jump till the moon come down. It's we who the stars shine on. Play a mass and break away. Freedom in with DNA.
It's a different type of thing down there. And we party till we drop down there. With a lot of pretty girls down there. Down in Tobago. Yeah. Hey.
It's a brand new morning, rise up to a brand new dawning. As the passion start to rise, the energy fill the skies. I say thanks for favor, to wake up and hear me neighbor. 60,000 people strong, and the vibes is never wrong.
Good morning, and welcome back to Good Morning Tobago right here on Tobago Updates. As we continue our conversation, as we wrap up here this morning, we're wrapping up with academics, and we're talking with the USC Tobago Extension Campus. And to have this conversation with me this morning, I have Dr. Len Archer. Good morning, sir. How are you doing? And then I have our campus director, Mrs. Verse Simon Frederick. Good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning. Thanks for having us.
Well,
Lovely.
it's our pleasure to have you here this morning. So we know that we are coming down to the end of a term, to the end of a semester. We're coming down to that period where we have our secondary school students transitioning out. And the question is always there, what is next? And today you have an open day to help navigate the next step with parents and students. So, Mrs. Frederick, tell us a bit about what's happening on campus today.
But I think you encapsulated it so nicely in what you just said. That's essentially exactly what we're doing. So most of you would know today's English exam. So on this day, most schools tend to close. So we do have the open day today. So our fourth formers, third formers even can come, because sometimes you wait until fifth form to decide. But we kind of want to capture them before fifth form. So you kind of plan for it properly. So we're having that. So we're inviting third formers, fourth formers to come with their parents today. Of course, the fifth formers can also pass by after the exams, because we'll be there from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. And just as the flyer says, we'll be doing first day of all career testing. So there's still some persons who have no idea what they want to do. So there will be a room where they can go do one of our little surveys, kind of figure out what career is best for you based on your personality. We'll be doing on-the-spot applications. So persons who are ready and really want to start, have all the documents already, we can do that for you today. And of course, we'll be doing academic advising to those who are still a bit confused as to what they want to do. And most importantly, something we've added is that we're having financial institutions as well, because you can't go to school without money. And many of us tend to depend on GATE, but as you may be aware or may not be aware, GATE doesn't always fund you 100%. Correct. It's based on your household income. So parents still have to find that 25% or 50% of the tuition. And so we do have some persons coming. We have some of our friends, Lambo Credit Union, Eastern Credit Union, South Carib Credit Union. We have RBC. And we also have First Citizens Bank. They will be there on spot to also provide financial advice, give persons ideas to what options they have in terms of loans and plans and so on. So we have a full package for persons there today.
What more can we ask for? I mean, I wish it was like that in my time. But let's talk about the transition between high school to college. There is in-between place where we usually fill with but with O levels, right? But not everyone is interested in going to to that level. So what is the alternative to that, to CAPE?
Well, there are two ways to get into the university. As you've said, the advanced level is where you're a little way ahead. But if you have just O levels, or sometimes there are students who have met the requirements that for a particular program. Most of the programs will have what are called prerequisites. So you can do the courses that prepare you for that specific program. And that enhances the opportunity for students to get into those programs.
And if I could add also to what we're doing, we do not require you to have CAPE to come to USC, right? Unlike some of the other universities. You can actually come to us with just your 5 O-level passes. So once you have a full certificate, 5 O-level passes, you can get into most of our university programs. Of course, some programs, as Dr. Len would have alluded to, would require certain specifics like mathematics or sciences and so on. And if you miss that, because we know maths is one of the things that everybody has a challenge with. So we do offer preliminary classes that allow you to do just the math or do just the English that you may have missed, or whatever class you may have missed, and then you can actually officially start classes. Of course, if you go the way of already doing CAPE, we give you transfer credits for what you've done, so your time in CAPE is not wasted. So depending on the classes that you do for CAPE, we would align them to our degree program, and you do get transfer credits, which means you're exempted from certain classes because of what you would have done at CAPE. So we cannot cater for everyone because we do have those persons who finish CSEC and know exactly what they want to do. We grab you up. If you're confused, you want to go to Cape, that's fine. We take you after Cape as well. But we kind of try to prepare for everybody in that way.
Right. Do you have some success stories that would be present at the open day?
Well, Dr. Archer.
Well, we have so many success stories. Whether they'll be there at open day, I'm not sure.
But all of them will be there
but
today.
For example,
yes.
the vice president for student enrollment and on the campus is going to be there today. He's a graduate. Yeah. We have a number of other graduates. As a matter of fact, the president of the university is a graduate of USC when it was CUC. Unfortunately, I wasn't a graduate like you. I went to UWI after I was actually born here in Tobago.
Yeah.
I went to UWI, I went to Bishops, and then went to UWI. And but I spent a lot of my time around the campus. As a matter of fact, my wife went to but internationally, we have a large number of students who have become very successful and, every career you can think about, and in some of the best institutions in the world, Harvard University, Columbia, and not only that, not only are they, some of these people are currently teaching there, they actually went to school. Lots of our graduates actually go to some of the best schools. So we know we have a very good program. And anyone who enters USC can be sure that they get a very good academic career.
And we do have some local persons that you may be aware of as well. Our current presiding officer, Ms. Abby Taylor, is a proud graduate of USC. Of course, she'll be involved in the youth debate today, so she can't join us today. All right. We also have Ms. Nadine Stewart Phillips, a former counselor. She's one of our graduates as well. And the current Miss Tobago for Miss World, Renessa Ortiz, she's actually one of our current USC students at this time. I think we do have a thing for beauty at USC. Miss Carol Ramsden, the former Miss World Tobago. Miss Yulani Fletcher, former Miss Universe Tobago, all graduates of USC. So I think if you want to mix beauty and books, come to USC.
All right, excellent. That's a great pitch. So again, we want to thank you guys for coming on this morning, and we want to reiterate that today is the open day at USC, and that is at the Rockley Vale.
Yes, going down the hill to Harmon. Everyone knows where Harmon is. Well, so on your way to Harmon, there will be a big banner outside, so you really can't miss us. And let me just say this: we are one of, I think, the very few institutions in Tobago who are still offering full-time, face-to-face bachelor's degrees for students. Most of the universities, as you would have known, after COVID kind of pulled out, they're doing classes now, distance ed, online, and so on. USC is one of the very few right now in Tobago. You can come, sit in a class face-to-face and do your bachelor's degree from start to finish. And that's what we're selling to Tobago today.
Can I add a last comment?
No problem.
One of the things we talk about a lot around USC now is that we are going to be 100 years old in
2027.
2027. A lot of people don't realize that we're actually the oldest tertiary level academic institution in Trinidad and Tobago and in the Southern Caribbean.
In the Caribbean, yes.
So we have been around for quite a long time. Started small, but recently has grown, developed into a full-size university with all the liberal arts programs. We have an extensive, wonderful music program. If you were able to go to that Christmas program last year here in Tobago, the choir and orchestra
and the nursing program as well.
So we're very, very proud of what we do here there. And I think anyone who comes to USC would appreciate the many gifts that can be shared.
Well, that is quite impressive. You heard it here, guys. Looking for the best academic foundation, USC does offer courses to put you on that trajectory. Guys, unfortunately, we have to wrap up for this morning, and this is the end of our conversations here on Good Morning Tobago. Again, I want to thank you guys for making Tobago Updates the #1 broadcaster here on the island of Tobago, and thank you for liking, sharing, and commenting, and I hope to see you soon again next week. All right? Have fun and have a great day.